Good evening, good evening, good evening. It is Wednesday, Winning Wednesday, Wealth Wednesday, whatever Wednesday you want to call it, but it is my favorite day of the year, the month, the week. Oh my gosh, I need to wake up. Yes, it's my favorite day. Every single Wednesday is my favorite day. If you have been listening to me for some time, you'll know that I always say that Wednesday is my favorite day because I was born on a Wednesday. All right. So Wednesday is my favorite day of the week. And if it's Wednesday and it's 8:30 p.m., then I, Carmen Bernard, is live with my live talk, factually speaking, you know, big legacy talks, anything that will allow you to grow and leave a legacy on this earth, right? So we talk about money, we talk about financial services. Every Wednesday night, we talk about different things. Tonight is going to be an awesome conversation. And if this conversation is not meant for you, I want you to share this live to someone else because I know that there's somebody out there that's listening to me or that's waiting to get this information so that they can be able to make to help them to further their lives. Tonight we're talking about eliminating debt, that stronghold of debt, and what can it can cause in our lives. So I am Carmen Bernard, president and founder of Big Facts, which is Bernard Insurance Group Financial and Consulting Services. I help you to protect your income, eliminate debt, create a legacy of generational wealth, create a tax free retirement income stream that you cannot outlive, and become your own bank, eliminate debt in 9 years or less, including your student loans, your credit cards, your mortgages, help you to not pay all that amount of interest that you're paying. So, those are some of the things that I do. If you would like to learn what I do, you can connect with me and we will talk about how you can learn to do what I do, um, and help many other people in our community. All right. So again, welcome, welcome, welcome to Big Legacy Talks, factually speaking with Carmen Bernard. My hashtags, hashtag Big Facts, facts without the T, BIGFACS. My hashtag leave millions to your family. I want you to follow those hashtags every time you see them. Click on them, like, share, and join me. I'm also trying to grow my social media so I can get out this information to many other people. So I'm on Facebook, as you can see me here tonight. I am on YouTube. You can see me on there tonight. But I'm also on LinkedIn. I'm also on TikTok. I'm also on Instagram. So please follow, give me a like and a follow so that you can continue to have access to the information that I share. All right. Tonight, I want to talk about debt. And I have been talking about that, right? But I've been talking more to people that have debt and um, how you can restructure your dollars that you have, how you can realign your dollars that you have to help you to eliminate debt and to grow wealth at the same time, right? Um, but there's been some people that have been unable to participate in that. And why is that? That's because that they have so much debt they cannot see their way out, right? Their most of their money is going to basically service debt and just to just kind of keep up with life, but they can't do anything else. They cannot save, right? They don't have the money to save. Nothing is left over. As a matter of fact, they're behind. And if I'm talking to you, there's no judgment here. If this is you or this is someone you know, share this to them so that there are ways for people to get out from under all of that strangling debt and be able to grow wealth, um, be able to um, not live like that, right? Not live like that. So let me see if I can invite some people to my live, because people say they get the information afterward. So I'm going to see if I can send a um, send a link to some people so that they can get on my live. Link to some people so that they. All right, but I don't want to get the feedback, so let me hit a couple of people just so that they can be able to join me. Um, hmm. It's hard to do it from my page because somehow it's not pulling up what I want them to pull up. Oh, goodness gracious me. Um, let's see. Let's see. Share this live, please. Share this live. I'm going to get into it in a little bit. Share this live. Please share this live. I'm trying to tag a couple of my family members so that they can also share this live with some people, that this may help anybody that this may help. I can't find her on. Oh, there she is. Yay. All right, great. I wanted to make sure that I shared it with at least a few people that can help me get this out. Okay. Guys, I've tagged a couple of people. This is in no way means that I'm tagging it to you for you, but I know that you wanted to at least listen to this live, or listen to me when I'm live, and you say you don't get the posting until I'm off. But now it's still going to be on here, but now you can listen and then share it out as well. All right. So here, I'm sure you've heard the saying, you weren't born to just pay bills and die, right? None of us was born to just pay bills and die. But here's the reality. Years and years of research have shown that shown us that thousands of adults uh, have a deficit when it comes to their monthly finances. Thousands of adults show that finances show a deficit or a surplus. Um, Typically would most likely the deficit would impact your mental and your physical health when you are under that stranglehold of debt, right? For many working Americans, 33% of them have missed a paycheck, or are borrowing money, or are skipping bills, right? Um, right now, we're seeing a lot of layoffs, and most Americans are within 1 to 2 paychecks of financial ruin, because they're just basically living paycheck to paycheck, right? Um, how people manage money is based on what they know, and how they behave with money is basically based on what they know. 1/3 of the average American income is being used to service debt. 1/3. And guess what? The other 1/3 is paying taxes, right? So what do we have to live on? And most people, those percentages are even higher, substantially higher, so that they are not even able to cover their debts. So they're behind, right? Um, Many of us do not even know what we're paying in interest when it comes to credit cards. When it comes to, we might be able to tell you about our mortgage, what we're paying in interest, but we don't know what we're paying in interest on most of our other consumer debt, right? And even if you know that it is, 6% interest or something like that, when you look at how it's paid back, you will realize that you're paying significantly higher interest costs in the beginning of your of these different loans, right? If you don't believe me, take an example of a mortgage payment, and you will see that if that most of that, when you're paying that mortgage payment, those first sets of payments, most of that is going toward interest. So if you were really and truly only paying a 3% um, interest rate on that mortgage, how come 75%, 80% is going towards interest? Well, the banks want to be able to recoup their money. And the truth of the matter is that you will continue to pay that high cost of interest for a very long time before you start paying down your principal. So instead of you paying 3% interest, you're paying more like 80 something percent interest. Now, overall, at the end, will it all average out? Yes. But most of us do not keep a mortgage for the entire 30 years. We restructure it, we refinance it, and we start over again. So in essence, you're paying that 75, 80% of interest in those first couple of years, and then you refinance and start all over again. So where's the 3% interest? All right. So 69% of Americans say that personal debt and credit card debt prevent them from their savings goals. And many people are unable to save after they've paid their bills, after they've paid for food, after they've paid for necessities that they need to live. They are unable to save, right? They are unable to save. And 71% of people talk about the fact that they can benefit from improving their financial literacy and their financial planning skills. They can improve on that, right? Here's the honest truth. 69% of Americans can pass a simple 3-question financial literacy test that's at the basic level. And if you don't believe me, go to howmoneyworks.com/Carmen Bernard. Howmoneyworks.com/Carmen Bernard. I'm going to put it um, in the chat. howmoneyworks.com/Carmen Bernard, and take that quiz, right? Do it and take that quiz. I guess I should have made it www, because I'm not sure if it's going to be a link that will take you there. But anyway, go to www.howmoneyworks.com/Carmen Bernard, right? So you guys know that it is my passion to help people get out of debt, protect their income, plan for unforeseen things that may come your way, whether it's becoming ill too soon, suffering a um, suffering a chronic illness, um, whether it's a heart attack, whether it's heart problems or kidney problems, or suffering a stroke or a brain aneurysm, or any of those things, to be able to protect yourself in the event that any of those things happen, you can be able to not go into financial ruin because it's there. All right. So, I also talk a little bit about, and if you check in the last, I think within the last week, I posted a video on why the financial industries love debt. The banking and credit industries, they are counting on your ignorance and your inattention to the debt obligations that you agree to pay. They're counting on that, right? And consequently, we end up with a boatload of debt that we just can't see our way out of. Now, tonight, I'm talking to those people who are under a lot of that, whether it's, 15,000, 20,000, 30,000, 40,000, or even more, right? Debt. And you are trying to pay on your debt. You may have even stopped paying on some of them, but you know that you owe the debt and you want to get rid of the debt. You want to be able to pay. Well, there's no magic potions here where we can just wave a wand and the debt will go away. And this is not a one of the schemes that, we're going to show you how to remove the debt from your um, credit, off of your credit profile, and you'll never have to pay it again. Now, things like that may happen, but not how most of these people are doing. Most of the times when they do that and they remove that debt, it's removed for a few days and it's right back on there, right? This is not any of those kind of schemes. I'm talking about real ways of eliminating debt. And if that's you or someone you know, tune in for what I'm about to say. Right. So there's basically five ways actually that a consumer, or five choices a consumer can make to help to alleviate excessive or unpayable debt that's due to unforeseen hardship. Whether you're unable to work, you suffered an illness, you're getting in less money now, whatever it is, but you know that this debt is basically unpayable, right? I'm going to be having a class where you can come in and we can really and truly go in depth on these different strategies for helping you to eliminate that debt and reducing that um, monthly outflow so that you can have some cash flow to start to save, to start to doing things like protecting your income, to really start to uh, live the way that you want to live, right? So many times when people get under this kind of stress, they decide, you know what, I am going to file bankruptcy, right? So that is an option. Filing bankruptcy is an option. Um, but it is a drastic option, right? It's a drastic option, right? Also, yeah, it's a drastic option, right? And there's many upsides and downsides to filing bankruptcy. And in the course, I will go over those upsides. Sorry, there are no upsides really. Well, you could get rid of the debt, so maybe that's an upside. But many people that want to get rid of debt, get out from under this debt, they really want to start to do things like maybe purchase a home in the next 4 to 5 years. They want to purchase a home. They want to be able to really save towards retirement. They really want to start building some wealth, right? So bankruptcy, although can be effective, can leave you with, it being on your credit for 7 to 10 years, where you're unable to even purchase a loan, even get a loan, even purchase a home. It's on there. You're also a lot of times not even able to work in certain industries if you have a bankruptcy on your record, right? So that's kind of harsh, but it is an option, right? The another option is basically consolidating all of your debt, right? Consolidating all of your debt, and maybe taking out if you have a home and it has equity in it, taking out that equity to basically pay off debt. You know, that may or may not be a good option, depending on your situation, right? That may or may not be a good option. But I will, in the course, I will go through the different types of bankruptcies. Typically there's the Chapter 13, and we'll talk about what that means for you. All right. And then there's we'll look at all the ugly side effects that can be left after a Chapter 13 bankruptcy. Then there's the Chapter 7 bankruptcy. We'll look at that as well and see what are all the downsides and possible upsides, but what are all the downsides to doing that. But bankruptcy is very serious, very harsh, and there are, believe it or not, other ways to do it. You also can't file bankruptcy if you have done so in the past, I think it's 8 years. So you cannot even do that, right? All right. So there's some other choices, and I want to talk a little bit about those choices. But if you want to know more, I'm going to, there's a link I've already posted that you can click. As a matter of fact, let me post it again on here. That way, if you want to find out more, you can just kind of hit the sign up button for more information. Okay. All righty. So that's the link that you will go to. And in that link, if you go there, I'll reach out to me through there. I will definitely get you in where we can go through this in deeper, in depth, where we can go through this in depth, and you can see what would be the best thing for you. But other than bankruptcy, of course, there's that debt consolidation that I talked about, and mortgage refinancing if you happen to be a homeowner. But this also may not be the best situation, because it's not eliminating debt, it's just consolidating debt and have you start again. Yes, you may have free up a little bit of cash flow, but now that debt is still going to keep going on forever. So you need to look at the upsides and downsides of that as well. And we'll talk about some of because history tells us, right, what has happened in the past, right? Success leaves clues, but also failures. We can see what has happened and what is good and what is not good. So we want to make sure that we see if those are the ways to go. But there's some other ways for us to eliminate debt. Other ways for us to eliminate debt that is not as drastic as the other two options, the first two options that I mentioned, right? Um, and so that you wouldn't have to suffer all those drawbacks. Now, for these three options that I'm going to talk to you about, it's important for you to know that this is meant for people who are already having problems um, are having problems meeting their debt obligations, right? You've already cannot make payments. Your debt, your credit probably has already taken a hit because of late payments, because you're struggling, robbing Peter to pay Paul this month. You're going to get paid next month. You're going to get paid. And so you've probably already taken a hit to your credit. And so these ones that I'm going to talk to you about, it does give a hit to your credit, but if you've already done that, then what's the difference, right? Because what this is going to do is help you to eliminate that debt, reduce your payments, right? Probably get rid of all or some of that debt. It does take a while, because just like building up the debt took a while, getting rid of it is gonna take a while. So it's gonna take 3-4 years, at least 36 months to do that. But at least you will now know that you're on a path. You have eliminated the debt and you're on a path to do the things that you want to do. You can now repair that credit because the debt is paid off and satisfied in full. And so one of the processes that we use, and if you go to that website that I just gave you, you'll find some of this information on there. You'll see this information on there where you can go through a process called debt validation, and the company will use um, the credit laws to help to make sure that the debt collectors can validate that debt. They can ensure that they can validate that debt, that you do owe that debt. And then they also ensure that they followed the letter of the law when it comes to collecting that debt. And if they haven't done so, those debts 9 out of 10 times can be invalidated, right? But these lawyers, these agencies, they're able to help you get rid of that debt. It's nothing easy. It does not. It doesn't happen overnight. Most of the programs will take you about 3 years, but you would have eliminated all of that debt, right? Using debt validation. More information, if you want to get into a deep dive with me, make sure you put info in the comments. Make sure you inbox me. Go to the website. Sign up for my free link for newsletters and blogs or whatever, and I will reach out to you so that we can go in and see if this is an option for you to get rid of that 30, 40, 50, $60,000 of debt. Now, if you have just like $3,000 in debt, this is not for you, right? I think the minimum amount of debt that they will accept is about $8,000. So you want to and then for some programs, there's a maximum amount of that, but some there are not any maximums. So depending on what you owe, you would know if this would be right for you, right? Another choice is called debt assumption. And that's where the like validation, of course, we're attacking the problem of getting rid of the debt, your balance and your monthly interest rate. but this is a kind of a different approach where an agency assumes the debt with you through a power of attorney. So now they assume the debt with you, and then they come up with a new contract with the debtor. And when they come up with that new contract with the debtor, if the creditor, or when, because they always do, break the contracts, fines and penalties are assessed. And those fines or penalties typically build all the way up to eliminating that debt. And even if it doesn't, now you can act, now they can help to um, kind of work with them to get rid of the debt, ready to settle it and get rid of it, right? And so that's the other thing, which is that assumption. So debt validation, that's assumption. And then there is still another one called debt settlement. And that's the process of negotiating with the creditors for a lower debt balance, right? And make it so it makes that monthly payment more manageable, or both, right? And so that's that settlement. Um, the agency will negotiate with your creditors on your behalf, and they will be showing you how they work to get that debt settled and removed, right? Um, So those are some additional options other than bankruptcy, which, boy, if you understand Chapter 13 bankruptcy, it is crazy what you have to go through in order to do that. And then in Chapter 7, most people go for that, but then it's still on your credit for like 7 to 10 years. And you're like basically locked in, not able to do anything. But these other options that I've just mentioned, debt validation, debt assumption, or debt settlement, um, helps you to eliminate the debt and gets you right back on that path where you should be. So if any of this is for you, please reach out to me so that we can go over your specific situation. Remember, everything that I do is for educational purposes only until you and I speak individually and look at yours, right? Um, we will talk about those options. We will talk about what would happen to your credit score if you were to go through that program, and what will happen to your debt, and what's most important for you, right? This is not for everyone. For you, if you all have if you have debt, but it's manageable debt, and you're able to manage your debt, I still can talk to you and show you how you can probably manage that debt more effectively, so that you're eliminating the debt but also building wealth, right? But the programs that I just talked about are for people that are stuck on their unpayable debt. They don't see any way out of it, how to get out of it. And this is what is going to help you. All right. So that's it for tonight that I wanted to talk to you about. Come connect with me so that we can see what we can do to help you eliminate that debt and start saving and building wealth. Thanks for spending some time with me. If you caught this on a replay, definitely say hashtag replay. Please share the live, and peace out.